Romans chapter 3, verses 21 through 26, first and foremost, give this point that Paul is trying to make, that the righteousness and redemption that has been prophesied, that has been talked about in the law for hundreds of years, comes through Jesus Christ alone. And that is his first point, and kind of a second point, a sub point almost, is that this righteousness and redemption is available to everybody, because everybody has sinned, everybody has fallen short of the glory of God, everybody needs to be justified in order to be with God. And Paul is trying to convey that again, it is only through Jesus. It is not through the law. It is not through the prophets. It's not through anything that we can do, but it is only through Jesus. It is only by the grace of God, as he says in verse 24, that we are redeemed, that we are made right with God. And obviously, this is a central passage in Christianity. This is a central passage in our faith and in what we should be teaching to the people around us. But it almost seems in modern Western and especially American Christianity that we believe as Christians that if we follow the law well enough, then we are redeemed already. Then we are redeemed because of God, because we're good enough. Let me explain that. There are enough arguments, there's enough schisms, there's enough fights going on in the Christian world, even among people from the same denominations, where one is saying essentially you're wrong for believing that, you can't be a Christian if you do, and the other is saying essentially the same thing, just with different words, with a different point, right? Here's point A and here's point B. And in fact, I had a conversation with a Christian just 2 days ago, who was telling me that if anybody calls themselves a Christian, he said, and judges somebody else, then that person isn't really a Christian. And I said, hold on, you're adding to the gospel there already. That is bad theology, because we see that everybody has fallen, everybody is in need of redemption, everybody is in need of grace, and it is only through Jesus that we find that grace. It's not through the things that we do or don't do. It's not through the things that we say or don't say. It's not where we worship or how we worship or what we worship to. But it is simply and only by Jesus Christ that we are redeemed. And this person didn't continue the conversation further. I don't think they liked my answer to a few of the other things that they were saying, but it proves the point of why Paul felt it necessary to be reminding the Christians reading this letter of this, right? If this is a brand new religion where they already kind of agree on everything, there haven't been any schisms, nothing that would break apart the church, at least. There aren't denominations. There are different churches, but only because there are different cities, right? And Paul here is driving the point home that the righteousness of God is through faith in Jesus to all who believe, because there is no distinction. There is no difference between you and me. There's no difference between anybody that we might see on the street. This redemption and righteousness is necessary to all of us, regardless of who we are or where we came from or where we are in our lives, either spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it may be. And Paul is driving this point home, and obviously for a reason in the early church, and we still need to have that point driven home even today, because like I said, it seems like we get on our high horses and we think, well, because I do or don't accept this, well, because I sing or don't sing this way, well, because I read this version of the Bible or that version of the Bible. I've run into way too many people who swear by one specific version of the Bible, and that's it. They won't even look at anything else. And they say, to be a Christian, you must read this version and this version alone. And again, I go back to this passage right here, because we see that our redemption, our justification can only come through Jesus. It doesn't come through anything else. It doesn't come through, again, what version of the Bible we may read, or who we accept into our churches or not. It comes simply and only through Jesus Christ. And until we understand that as Christians, until we accept that as followers of Jesus Christ, we will always have something to fight about. We will always have something to be mad at each other for. We will always have something that we can nitpick and call down the Christians around us for. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments below. Thanks.